It's the dictionary. Dictionary. It's the dictionary. Dictionary. It's the dictionary. Dictionary. It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary.
Hello, word nerds, and welcome to the dictionary. My name is Spencer. I am your host. This is episode F33, and it's been a really kind of weird, kind of fucked up week for me, to be honest. I haven't recorded in a while. Part of that is because I took some time off for our birthdays. My wife and I, our birthdays are one day apart, and so we took a couple of days off, and it was over Labor Day weekend, because I'm recording this in September, and so we had a lot of days off. And right after that, our cat took a little turn for the worse, and I am not going to dig deep into this conversation because it will become a whole other thing. But after 16 years of life, we had to make the incredibly difficult decision to put our cat Bailey to sleep. That was on September 7th, 2024, 3 days ago as I'm recording this. Today's September 10th, and geez, that it's the worst thing that you have to do, to make that decision, to actively go through that, and it's gonna be a very long time for me to process that. And I want to talk about it. I want to talk about her, but this is probably not the time or the place. But you know, all I can say about her is that she was the smallest, sweetest, softest cat that I have ever seen and met, and I bonded with her immediately when she was 4 months old, and she never left my side, never left my house for almost 16 years. And if you are an animal lover, a pet owner, I think you know a bit about what I have been going through. So cheers, my water to Bailey and all of your lovely fur babies, fur friends, pets, whatever you want to call them, those who are still with us and those who are not. Ah, boy, that does not get easy. On another note, let's talk about some words today in this episode. The first word is far-ultraviolet. So in the previous episode, few episodes ago, we had I'm trying to find it, far-infrared, I think. There it is, far-infrared. And today we have far-ultraviolet, which is all the way on the opposite side of the wavelength spectrum thingy thing. Okay, far-ultraviolet, 2 words with a hyphen, adjective from 1947, of, relating to, or being the shortest wavelengths of radiation in the ultraviolet spectrum, and especially those between 100 and 300 nanometers. And maybe some people like to say nanometers. Your grandma's meters? Nanometers? Those are very small. They are the tiniest of the meters. Yeah, so let's see. Let's do a quick little chuck. Little chuck. The infrared side was 1923, the far infrared, and the far ultraviolet was 1947. So there was like 24 years. Why did they not have a name for that at the same time? I don't know. Okay. I think that's it for far ultraviolet. You know, those are the waves that are coming down and hitting your skin, so wear your sunscreen. That's my PSA. Okay, the sound effect today is going to be... Whoa. I think I've done that before, but that's okay. It works today. Next is the first FAS word, and it happens to be FAS, all caps. It is an abbreviation for one, not a fun thing. We'll have to talk about it later in the Fs. Fetal alcohol syndrome. So, you know, if you want to know more about that, based on what the dictionary has to say about that, we'll just come back a little bit later. Number 2, firsts and seconds. And I don't know what context that is. Are we talking about first and second base in baseball? First and second base when you were having a little sexy fun with your partner? Or is it in a race, in a contest, in a tournament, firsts and seconds? Nobody knows. Number 3, free alongside ship. Free alongside ship. We're talking about shipping stuff, maybe literally ships. I'm not sure about this one either. Free alongside ship. It's just they got to shorten it. They got to acronym it. Can we use acronym as a verb? Acronym it down to FAS. Depending on your context, FAS can mean a variety of things. Whoa. All of those meanings for FAS make me say, whoa. Next is FASC, and there's a hair on my mic that is really pissing me off, so I got to get rid of that. FASC, abbreviation for fascicle, which is not our next word, but it's coming up. Whoa! Next is fasces, FASCES, noun from 1598. This is a bundle of rods, and among them an axe. Sounds like a game. Find the axe among the rods. A bundle of rods, and among them an axe with projecting blade borne before ancient Roman magistrates as a badge of authority. And there is a picture of a fasces. So basically, picture this, if you will. You have an axe, just, your regular axe. There's a handle, and then the blade sticks out. And then around the top portion of basically the top 2/3 of the handle, all the way to the top above the blade, there are a bunch of rods that are strapped around it, but the blade is sticking out from some of the rods. So maybe we should post a picture of this. I'm not sure why it has to be covered in rods. I'm sure that there is some very important reason for that. A bundle of rods, among them an axe with projecting blade borne before ancient Roman magistrates as a badge of authority. So if you have this fasces, you have this badge of authority. It means you are in a position of authority and you have some power. I have the axe blade. I have the fasces. Yeah. Okay. It is a Latin word from the plural of fascis, which means bundle. Akin to the Latin fascia, which is coming up, so we're going to get to learn all about that. But yeah, it means bundle, pretty much. Whoa! Next is, now you can pronounce this a few ways. Fascia, that is for numbers 1 and 3, it looks like. For number 2 is usually fascia, not fascia, but fascia. And I feel like I've also heard just 2 syllables, fascia or fascia. Maybe people say that. Do they? I don't know. I do sometimes. I like to say this. It is spelled Fascia. It is where is the thing? It's a noun from 1563. I should have known noun. I just want to confirm it. So number 1, fascia. A flat, usually horizontal member of a building having the form of a flat band or broad fillet or fillet, as 1A, a flat piece used as a molding, and 1B, a horizontal piece covering the joint between the top of a wall and the projecting eaves, and that is called also fascia board. Okay, so that was a whole lot of information that I just chugged right through. It is a horizontal piece. It's flat. My hand motions are very helpful. Looks like a duck is talking to me. Flat band, it's a board, used in a variety of ways. Molding, the stuff where the wall meets the ceiling, or at the top of a wall. Is that what it said? Flat piece used as molding, horizontal piece. Oh, and in 1B, the example of the horizontal piece is board. It's just a board. Covering the joint between the top of the wall and the projecting eaves. The things that stick out, that's the molding, pretty much. Basically. Okay, now because I don't do construction, I have not have ever heard of this fascia or fascia board, but that's what it is. But we have another one, 1C. How did I miss this one? A nameplate over the top of a shop. The top of the shop has a nameplate, and that nameplate is named fascia. The nameplate over the front of a shop. So I guess, is that literally just the sign, the name of the shop? That it's a flat board, probably. They paint the thing on the board and then they put it up and it's at the top of the thing, maybe where the eaves are coming out. So it's a fascia. And maybe face, maybe that's part of the etymology, sort of, kind of, maybe. Okay. Number 2, this one would be fascia, a sheet of connective tissue covering or binding together body structures as muscles. And then also the tissue of this character is the fascia. And I learned about this because I think my wife taught this to me, because she used to be a massage therapist and she taught me about this fascia stuff. And it's like, I think it's kind of like the layer, let's read it again, a sheet of connective tissue covering or binding together muscles, basically. So it's not exactly the muscles, but it's this stuff over the muscles. And sometimes, especially if you're maybe sitting around a lot or maybe very physically active, maybe you got to break up this fascia. So sometimes, we'll like take our hands and we'll like sort of run them over these muscles. Let me see if I can. It's this kind of action, right? And I don't feel like I have a lot of fascia to be broken up in my arm right now, but maybe like in your legs, in your back, those sorts of places. Sometimes you feel this crunchy crunch, and that's the fascia getting broken up. And I think that's probably a very good thing to have done, because otherwise maybe it's going to get all crusty and crispy and crinkly, and maybe it'll break apart. I don't know. I'm not a medical doctor. Don't quote me on that. Okay, that's that stuff. Number three, this is fascia. You could also spell this one without the S. This is British, and it is the dashboard of an automobile. They call that the fascia? Facial with an L, that is an adjective. And let's look at the etymology. Shall we? Come join me into the etymology world, the land of etymology. This is, well, we know it's related to the last word because it mentioned the Latin fascia, however they want to pronounce it. This is Italian, fascia, I don't know how they say it. From the Latin, same word, which means band or bandage. Akin to the Middle Irish, I don't know how this is pronounced, but it's spelled base, B-A-S-E. And that means necklace. This is not at all what That is not at all what I was expecting. The band makes sense with the muscle thing, because the muscles are sort of in bands, so maybe the fascia is in the bands. But I was thinking maybe it would be also related to bundle, but there's also the definition about the flat horizontal thing, so I don't know. It's all related somehow. Except for the dashboard of an automobile. That one I'm maybe it's because it's flat. Whatever. Whoa. Next is fasciated. Adjective from circa 1835. Number 1, exhibiting fasciation. And then number 2 is arranged in fascicles. And we got to get into these words, so here we go. Whoa! Fasciation. Lots of words in this one, I don't know. Okay, fasciation is a noun from 1677. This is a malformation of plant stems, commonly manifested as enlargement and flattening, as if several stems were fused. Ooh! I am fascinated by fasciation. It is a commonly manifested enlargement. So the stem. This is a thing that happens. It's not a common thing. Maybe it's not normal growth. It gets enlarged. It gets flattened, and so it looks like there's a bunch of stems. Maybe it looks like there are 5 stems growing up like this, like my hand, like my fingers. but they're all fused together, so it's this big flat thing, and it's like, whoa, is that a bunch of stems growing together? No, it's one stem that has a problem that it needs to go to therapy for, and it's called fasciation. I guess? Flattening as if several stems were fused. Yep, that's it. Okay, great. Whoa! That fasciation, that dandelion stem made me go, whoa! Next is fascicle. Fascicle. Noun from the 15th century. Number 1. This is a small or slender bundle, as of pine needles or nerve fibers. The nerve fibers in your body are bundled up, or also pine needles, I guess, are in bundles. Fascicles, a smaller, slender bundle. Pine needles, nerves. Number 2, one of the divisions of a book published in parts. So if you publish a book in short little parts, maybe each chapter gets published in its own little book, tiny little book, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, blah, 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 blah. And each one of those is called a fascicle. Don't know why. Can we look at the etymology? Well, real quick, let's say fascicled with a D at the end. That is an adjective. And this word is from Latin fasciculus, which is the diminutive of fascis, Fascis, which, if we go back, means bundle. So the first definition makes sense because it's literally a slender bundle of pine needles and or nerve fibers. But it also makes sense for the second one because when you bundle up all the fascicles, you put the bundles in the bundle, you get the whole book. I got the whole book in my hand. It's made up of fascicles. Give me a band so I can put it around and have one big book. Okay. Whoa! Next is fascicular. Fascicular. Adjective from 1816 of relating to or consisting of fascicles or fasciculi with an I at the end. And it looks like, let me see if I can find where fasciculi might be. Ooh, I think, is that going to come up in this episode? But yes, I see where it is. I found it. It's a plural form of another word. So when something consists of individual small portions of a book or a bundle of pine needles, then it would be fascicular, and fascicularly is an adverb. Fascicularly. I don't know when any of these things get used. Whoa. Next is fasciculate. Also fasciculated. Adjective from 1794. The synonym is just fascicular, which was the previous word. Whoa. Fasciculation. Noun from 1938. Muscular twitching involving the simultaneous contraction of contiguous groups of muscle fibers. So the fascia maybe has something to do with this, the fascia on the muscles. Simultaneous contraction of contiguous groups. That means groups of muscle fibers that are next to each other. They're like... That is fasciculation. Is this the thing like when your finger twitches or your eyelid twitches? Even today, earlier today, for some reason, my lip did a little bit of twitching a little bit. Maybe I was moving some heavy stuff around, so maybe my muscles were a little like, whoa, dude, that's a lot of stuff. And so that's why my muscles were twitching, but I don't know what, it went away right away. But was all that fasciculation? Sure, why not? I'll say it is. Whoa! Fascicule. This is 3 syllables. No, it's fascicule. That's the way you gotta emphasize the syllables. Fascicule. Noun from 1880. The definition is just the number 2 definition for the word fascicle. Fascicle, which was the small divisions of a book. So they also are called fascicules with a C-U-L-E at the end. Whoa. Fasciculus. Here we go. Fasciculus. Erase that from your memories. Fasciculus. And the plural is fasciculi with an I. And so that's the plural form. And so just real quick before I read it, we go back to fascicular, and that is something relating to or consisting of fasciculi, which I shall read to you now. It is a noun from 1713. Number 1 is a slender bundle of anatomical fibers as nerve fibers. And that seems obviously very closely connected, related to fascicle, which basically sounds like the same thing. Number 2, this is literally the number 2 definition for the word fascicle, which was the bundle, the small portion of a book. So yeah, fasciculus seems like it's pretty much exactly the same thing as fascicle. Fascicle, fasciculus, which one do you prefer? Why don't you tell me? Should I put a poll up? Nobody will respond. Whoa! Next is fasciitis. I suspect that this is some sort of inflammation of that connective tissue over your muscles, but we need to read to confirm. You can also just say fasciitis. Fasciitis or fasciitis, because fasciitis is spelled Fasciiitis. Noun from 1893, inflammation of a fascia, as from infection or injury. This is, you want to compare it to, something very bad, gross, nasty, terrible, necrotizing fasciitis. If you break it down into the word parts, this is basically an infection that is eating away at the skin and the tissues and the muscles and all of the stuff, and it won't stop, can't stop, don't stop until medical stuff comes in to stop it, if it is even possible. It's dying. Necro, that's the death, blackening grossiness stuff. Necrotizing fasciitis. Okay, we don't need to talk about that anymore. Whoa! Next is fascinate. Fascinating. Nope, that's our last word. Fascinate is this word. It is a verb from 1598, starting with transitive. Number 1 is obsolete, and the synonym is bewitch. Ooh, you are so bewitching to me. You are fascinating me. Number 2, to transfix and hold spellbound by an irresistible power, as in, we have an example. I don't think we have an example all episode. Believed that the serpent could fascinate its prey. The serpent could fascinate its prey. The serpent did a little dance. Maybe it was like a cobra, and it had the wings. They're not called wings. I don't know. It had that big thing by its head, on its neck. It did something to hold its prey spellbound. The prey was transfixed by what it was doing, almost hypnotizing. Fascinate. 2B. To command the interest of. The synonym is allure, as in was fascinated by carnivals. Carnivals are so fascinating. They keep they have this irresistible power for me to go to attend, for me to look at the lights, look at the people, look at the games, play the games, eat the food. Everything at a carnival is fascinating to me. Transfix and hold spellbound. Carnivals really do have an irresistible power. I think that it's magic, but that's just me. What did I do? I think I mixed up some things. To command the interest of. Yes, I did go back. I was trying to describe carnivals, and then I went back to the two-way definition. The carnivals command my interest. They say, come, you must come look at me. Join, buy your tickets, play our games. Step right up to the carnival. I am going to fascinate you. Okay, intransitive is to be irresistibly attractive, as in the novel's flamboyant cover fascinates. Somebody created a very fascinating cover to this book. It is so flamboyant. I don't know, there's things flipping and flapping and all funness, and it draws your eye straight to it. It fascinates me. A synonym for the word is attract. Yep, that's what it is. Making you want to look at it, study it, be transfixed by it. I hope that everything going on here is fascinating to you. This word is from the Latin fascinatus, which is from the verb fascinare, which is also from fascinum, which means evil spell. Ooh, you put a spell on me. You're fascinating. Hey, that's our last word. Whoa. Something that's fascinating makes me say, whoa. The word fascinating is an adjective from 1638. This is extremely interesting or charming. The synonym is captivating. Fascinatingly is an adverb. I definitely don't think that I am this kind of. I'm not fascinating. I would like to be. I would like to be charming and interesting. Oh, hello. Come talk to me. Whatever. Okay. Hey, it is now time to pick a word of the episode. That is brought to you by our sponsor, water. Okay, today we had far-ultralight, F-A-S-C, FASC. Fasces, fascia or fascia, or just fascia. Fasciated, fasciation, fascicle, fascicular, fasciculate, fasciculation, fascicule, fasciculus, fasciitis, fascinate, and fascinating. Isn't there a song? Fascinating rhythm, ba-doo-ba-doo-ba, ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-da-ba-doo-bo, beep-boop-boo-bo. Which one? I mean, there is some very interesting stuff here. The fasciitis is a very interesting thing. What else? Far-ultraviolet is an interesting thing. I mean, fascinating, fascinate, those are great. Anything else? What this fasces is fascinating. This bundle of stuff around an axe. What was the one with the yes, here, the fasciation where the stem grows wide? Oh, this is so hard to pick a word of the episode. What is he gonna do? What's gonna happen? He's got to go to a dentist appointment soon. He doesn't have time to sit around and waste talking about words and which one he likes the most. He's just stalling, but he's not thinking while he's stalling. He has to do some real work here. Why is this so difficult? Let's pick fascinating. Why not? Fascinating. I'm not really fascinating, but I wanna be when I'm on a camera and a mic. Maybe I'm more fascinating. Okay, I don't know. This stuff happens. Fascinating is the word of the episode. Gotta grab my phone so I can tell you about a movie that I watched. Boy, I am so behind because I have not been recording very much recently, like I said. And I'm going all the way back to, gotta go way back down the list. Back to August. The next movie I watched on August 14th, we watched Party Girl. I had never seen this. Sharon was aware of it. I think she must have seen it. And it's, what's her name? Come on, Spencer. You can do it. Come up with her name. She's in Waiting for Guffman and the Best in Show with a P. Poo, and all that other movie with the other people that not a lot of people know about, but is very good. I'm just gonna look it up because I must. I should look up Party Girl. It's a very mid-90s movie. Parker Posey. I knew it was with the P's, a couple of P's actually. it was very kind of like odd and silly, but also, deals with some sort of semi-serious stuff, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I saw it. Like I said, August. That was a month ago. But yeah, definitely recommend it. It really captures a moment in time in New York with the styles and the language and everything. And yeah, worth a watch. Okay. I believe that is it for you today. I will leave you with just, I don't know, a little bit more about my cat Bailey. There was some, she, like I said, she was very sweet, cuddly. She would sit on our lap a lot. She was not, your typical cat that would just go sit off on her own all the time. She did that sometimes, especially as she got older. But she ended up having a lot of medical issues, especially in the last 9 months. She had hyperthyroidism and she had kidney issues, urinary tract problems, digestive issues, and she was a super picky eater. So that sort of exacerbated all the other things. And it just got to a point where it was just not manageable anymore, and she practically needed 24/7 care. And there's no good time, no easy time to make that decision, but it was time, and we knew it, and I think she knew it, and the vet agreed. She said, yes, I think this is time. And I cherish the time that we had together, the memories, the photos, the videos. Too many memories to talk about here, but maybe I'll talk about them at some point. And she just pops in my head whenever I'm not actively in the middle of something, and you just can't help but think about just that whole time, that whole life that you had with. And she was like my kid. I never had kids. She was my baby. Ugh. I had to go buy some Bailey's Almond a couple of days ago so I can cheers her properly, because that's what she was named after. All right, on that sad note, this has been Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye.